Hello, everyone. Welcome in. First stream. Just doing a few tests today, just to go through some stuff. Just basically, I want a dry run before the watch along on Sunday, which I'm supposed to be doing, which I'm a little bit terrified about. I'm not going to lie. So, just a quick one this morning. I'm going to stay on for maybe 30 or 40 minutes. We're going to discuss the news. We're going to answer some questions you guys have in the chat. Just get to know each other a little better before Sunday. And like I said, just do a bit of a dry run. So, how is everyone? I've seen people in the chat already. So we have Leona's in, Ian is in, Sinister's in. Get in is in. Craig Connor's about to steal Craig's job. I don't think we're going that far now. Let's calm down. Why not Craig on Sunday? Someone said. So Craig is actually going to be at the game on Sunday before his show at the Hot Water Comedy Club, which tickets are still available for. There is a link in the description for that. If you do want to go. So Craig will be away on Sunday. I will be here for the game on Sunday, all going well. If this stream goes well and I don't shit myself before then, basically. So please do let me know if you have any questions or what you'd like to discuss. We've got a lot of news this morning. We have some news around Antoine Semenyo. There's some talk that senior officials at Liverpool are. I don't know if regret is the full on word we go with here, but it says there are important figures at Liverpool who believed Antoine Semenyo would have been the ideal signing for the club last summer. So I wonder, is there a little bit of a regret there in terms of he's obviously been good the last couple of seasons, but he's really taken a step up this season after signing that new contract at Bournemouth. And I wonder if the likes of Liverpool and Arsenal are just a little bit like, should we have gotten him before he blew up? Like he has been fantastic this season. There's been prices of about £75 million being floated for him, which is probably fair in this market. And maybe the club are looking at it a little bit like, not to say we regret Isak or Ekitike, but maybe a little bit of a change in plan. Maybe bring in a winger instead of two forwards or two strikers for the central position, maybe. I don't know. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on that one. Like, would you take Semenyo at Liverpool? I certainly would, but everything you read and see, it seems like he probably is Arsenal bound at some point, in all honesty. So, yeah, I would take him though, 100%. So please do let me know what you think on that one. If you'd like to discuss the centre backs, we've got some links with Sven Botman this morning of Newcastle, which of course will be a very interesting conversation. I'd love to see how that one will go. Like Richard Hughes knocking down the door of Newcastle again after the Isak saga. I can't see that one going very well. In all fairness, so don't see that one happening. Obviously, would take him at Liverpool. Like he's a quality player, but I can't see us doing business with Newcastle anytime soon. Especially not under that current ownership and just the way everything went over the summer. So yeah, I'm not holding out hope on that one. Sorry, clearing my throat. What have we got in the comments then? So we have Coach Bill, welcome in. We have a comment here from Cootie Munt. After Carroll from Newcastle, we should have learned a lesson. Is that in relation to Isak? Because that's just complete nonsense if that's what you're actually thinking there. Like, he's come under a lot of stick already this season. Like, he's barely played. He's still getting up to fitness. And I've seen people are giving out, like, Sweden fans are giving out about Isak saying he's costing the World Cup qualification. Like, I know Sweden aren't the greatest team in the world, but they should have the quality to be beating the likes of Kosovo. Like, last night losing at home to Kosovo. Like, it's just I don't get it. Like people trying to blame him. Gyökeres is also on the pitch, by the way. He's not getting any slander, but I suppose people just think he's not of that quality. Maybe like Isak is their main man, of course. Like he's a step up from Gyökeres, but yeah, I think people just trying to blame Isak for Sweden's failings is just too much. Like he's still come back to fitness. Fair enough. Like you could say maybe he should have pushed for the move a bit earlier, or just maybe not push for the move at all. Like the logic of it is just it just confuses me. Like people saying that he's to blame is just ridiculous. I don't buy that for 1 minute. Nice to see your confidence growing in front of camera, Connor. Thank you very much for that one. Yeah, like I'm very nervous doing this stream. Like I'm not very good off the cuff. I'm not good being put on the spot. So this is definitely out of my comfort zone. I'll probably take down the stream afterwards, in all honesty. So enjoy it while it's here. I'm just yeah, I want to get a little bit of practice. I don't want to jump into a full 2 or 3 hour stream on the weekend without any kind of practice. Just in terms of bringing the chats up on the screen, chatting to people in here, like bringing my notes up. It's just all getting used to it, checking my Wi-Fi as well, just to make sure it's all good. So, am I coming through all right? By the way, I'm not lagging or anything, am I? I'm looking at the dropped frames here. It says 0, so I'm hopeful that we're all good. So please do let me know if I'm coming through all right. Chapman CM said Sweden just don't have the players like they used to anymore, which is true. Like I was looking through their team quickly before I came on, and outside of Isak, Gyökeres, and Bergval, really, it's fairly average. Like it should still be a team that's qualifying for the World Cup, or it should still certainly be beating Kosovo. But like you said, they're not exactly world beaters either. So yeah, I'd agree with that one. Yeah, they don't have the players like they used to before. They used to be a much stronger team, traditionally. Like you said, you're doing great, Connor. Everything's fine with the stream. That's brilliant to hear. That's all good. So no dropped frames as of yet. We're happy with that one. You've done a great job with the recent vids and live so far, mate. Keep it up. Thank you very much for that one. Yeah, like it's definitely out of my comfort zone. Like I've only been recording videos for the last probably month or two regularly, so it is all new to me. But yeah, I'm enjoying it, to be fair. Like, and I know like it'll only do wonders for me, like going forward, just my own general confidence and bit of a not stage presence, but you know what I mean, just a little bit of aura on camera, a little bit more, like, you know. So the more I go on, the hopefully I will get better. But yeah, thank you very much for the kind words. John Summers said, "Hi Connor, thoughts on the Bradley form for Northern Ireland and how poor he's been for us." I can't really comment on the Northern Ireland thing, to be honest. I haven't seen him play for him. Sorry, bloody throat. Um, he hasn't hit the ground running so far for Liverpool yet this season. Like he looked better last season, but it's a changing system. It's more pressure on him if he's going to be the starting right back. So I find it hard to pass judgment on him just yet when everyone seems to be playing bad. So I wouldn't put too much down to him being poor. But yeah, he could have definitely improved. But I'd love to hear from you guys. Like, what do you think on the right back position? Because in my opinion, Soboslai probably has been the best right back we've had so far. But then we can't lose him out of midfield. So it is a toss up then between Frimpong and Bradley. Like, do you put Frimpong in purely because he's a new purchase and he was brought in to do that? Was he even brought in to do that? Was he brought in to be more of a Mo Salah backup as a right wing? So it is an interesting debate around that. I personally will be starting Bradley at the minute. Long term, probably Frimpong, but I'm very interested to hear what you guys think of that one because it's a tough one. Like, you can't buy in players and then not play them, but then you can't persist with Bradley if he's not exactly performing either. So I'd love to hear your thoughts now. True Fushnik said, How do you guys feel about the remaining Champions League phase matches? I think the Champions League, as it is now, like I wouldn't be concerned after losing to Galatasaray. Like the top 24 teams will get through. Like I know there's an extra playoff round, and ideally you would like to finish in the top eight, but you look at last season and we finished top, got absolutely zero benefit out of it, really, and then just like we still got through. We lost tonight. Like every like PSG didn't finish in the top eight, so like I think it'd be very very difficult, and it would take a lot for us not to finish in the top 24. So I'm not worried in all honesty. Like there's a few tough games in there. Obviously we've both Madrid teams. We have I think Frankfurt in there as well. Like there's a few tough ones, but I'm not worried about it. Like whatever happens, happens. Wherever we finish, we will qualify. We'll play whoever we have to play, and after that, then we'll see how we get on. It is a cup run at the end of the day. I think we have a good chance of going far in it. I think if we're not going to be consistent this season, I think we may turn our attention to the Champions League fairly quickly. So it will be very interesting to just see how it develops, really. But yeah, I'm not worried about Champions League group phase at all. I think we will get through in the top 24, and after that, like I said, it's just wherever you get then. Like you could get a great draw, could get an awful draw. So yeah, I'm not worried about. Coach Bill said, to be honest, Soboslai plays at right back. We need the Bradley backup because I see Frimpong as a Salah backup. We also need to get balls into Isak's feet and not head. That one is a very good point, Coach Bill. Like, Isak, I can't remember what game it was now, but one last game or two we played, like, he came on for, I think it was like 35 minutes and he had 4 touches of the ball. Like, you can't blame that on him. Like, maybe he could drop a little bit deeper like Ekatike does to get more involved, but like 4 touches in 30 minutes. Like that is a systematic problem. Like we're not getting the ball to him enough. And even like you look at stats around Florian Wirtz this season compared to last season at Bayer Leverkusen. You look at Mohamed Salah's touches and his shots. Like everything is down this season. We're just not getting the ball to the front line whatsoever. So we do need to figure that one out. Like you said, we need to get the ball to Isak's feet. He seems to have this brilliant like touch of the ball that he can just kind of make a guard for himself, get a shot off. He is just good at creating chances for himself. So yeah, 100% we need to be getting the ball to his feet more so than trying to lump balls into the box for a header. So let's go through some of the news then anyway. So we have a few bits around the centre back situation. So we have a quote from James Pearce here on Mark Gahey, who said, "It's always been much more likely that if he joins Liverpool, it will happen next summer rather than in January." Which it kind of makes sense. Like if Liverpool were willing to spend, let's say, £35 million last summer, and we know we can get it for free next summer, there is a little bit of logic in the sense that why would we pay half price, let's say in January? I personally would pay it just to get him over the line. I can fully see why he mightn't want to be disrupted in the middle of a season, especially if Crystal Palace are doing well, if they're pushing for Europe. Obviously, there's the World Cup to think about, so Mark Gahey wants consistency. He wants to make sure he's fit and ready and selected even. Like, he wants to make sure he is in the manager's thoughts for the England squad. So, could fully understand it. If it's a Mark Gahey issue of him not wanting to leave in January, fair enough. But if he comes up, we have to be in there. Like, we can't let a Real Madrid, a Bayern Munich, or Chelsea even, or someone else come in and poach him away from us. So, I think we have to be all over that if there's even a sniff of it. Following on from that, then we have a quote from Defensa Central in Spain, who said Kylian Mbappe has spoken with Liverpool centre-back Ibrahima Konate on France international duty. Mbappe feels Konate is eager to sign for Real Madrid and is holding out for their offer. So, like, again, the Konate situation, like, it just keeps going back and forth. Like, it looked a certainty he was going to Madrid. Then it came back a little bit and it looked like he might stay. There was a little bit of, what's the word, just kind of, there was a glimmer of hope, I suppose. Like, there was still some reports coming out from the English side that Liverpool were confident of getting a deal over the line. So, to hear stuff like this coming back out, obviously Spanish media can't really be trusted on these things. They do tend to be a mouthpiece for the bigger Spanish clubs. But if Mbappe is in his ear, like, it's not a bad person to have in your ear to try persuade you to do something, is it? So I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on that one. Just like, do you think he will stay? I'm personally thinking probably 75% he leaves, 25% he might stay. I want him to stay, but it's not looking very likely. So please do let me know on that one. Who else have we got then? We've got Emil Heskey talking about Liverpool's defensive worries. Bit of a throwback there. So he said defensively, Slot wants to get things solid again. Kanate and Van Dijk were solid last season, but it just looks a bit jaded. Obviously, with the fullbacks, Trent's not there anymore. Frimpong and Kerkez are just bedding in. So Slot is trying to find that match that Robertson, Van Dijk, Kanate, and Trent had. They were solid, and he's got to try and find that again. It might not look exactly the same, but it's got to have some sort of solidity to it. And this kind of goes back to what we were discussing on the podcast recently and stuff as well. Like, Arne Slot doesn't seem to know what his best 11 is. Like, if you look back at any successful team, you have this base 11 where, like, 9 or 10 of them start most games. Or even, you think the partnerships, like, even through Liverpool's previous campaigns, you always had Mane, Firmino, Salah up front. You had Wijnaldum, Fabinho, and Henderson as a trio in midfield. You had Robertson and Trent, Van Dijk and Konate with Alisson. Like, that's a rock solid partnership. That is the starting selection in that area. Like, we do need to find that in this team because, like we said a few minutes ago about right backs, we've had Soboslai there. We've had Bradley start a lot of games but then come off at half time. We've had Frimpong there. Like, you can't really build up these partnerships and all on the pitch if we're chopping and changing that much. So I would like to see us, like, really solidify what our back four actually is, what our midfield three actually is, because I think there's a big debate to be had there, and then our forward line as well. So the quicker we find out our actual definitive best starting 11, I think the quicker that this team can start to gel. The likes of Florian Wirtz and Isak can settle in more, and that's how we get back to the top. We just need to get back to the basics of what a team is. Like, we just need to find what our best team is and stick with that. David Coughlin said, "Do you get as angry as Craig when we lose?" I don't think anyone gets as angry or as angry as when. Let me start that again. I don't think anyone gets as angry as Craig when we lose. To be fair, like, Craig he's a very emotional fella, like in positive and negative ways. So I know I wouldn't get that emotional. Like, I'm much more in the middle on these things. Like, I do get angry, but I wouldn't be shouting and screaming. That's not really who the person I am. I just don't really like. I don't go. I don't go to the far ends of the spectrum in terms of happy and negative. I just kind of sit in the middle somewhere on a lot of stuff. But yeah, I do get pissed off, but I wouldn't. I'm more just, I sit back and just laugh at the absurdity of us losing a game 6-0 if that happens, or you know what I mean. Like, I just try to see the funny side of it, or just try to move on afterwards and not dwell on it too much. So yeah, no, I don't get as angry as Craig. To answer your question. What else have we got in the chat then? Will you and Craig ever do a watch along together? So we have the studio being built over the next few weeks. So hopefully that will give us the option of doing that. It's not going to be like a regular thing. Like it will be Craig 99% of the time. I'm sure if I am up there for a game at times, I'll pop up on camera as well. So, but like definitely the new studio will give us the option of doing these things. So never say never. Probably not very consistently, but never say never. It will happen at some point, I'm sure. Lee Jericho said, "I'm really enjoying your segments. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm enjoying making them. To be fair, like I said, like I'm still building up a bit of confidence around these things. Like I'm not really a properly outgoing kind of person. I don't really put myself out there very much. So to pawn a camera and talk to it for 10 minutes without anyone like talking back, it is very alien to me still. Even this, like even like the chat is quiet today, obviously, and I was expecting that like a 10:30 stream on a Tuesday morning is always going to be quiet, but yeah, just kind of like I said, getting used to the whole streaming thing, getting used to where everything is on my screen, and just checking out my Wi-Fi. So thank you all for joining me as well. Like it is really appreciated. I know, like I said, it's very early on a Tuesday, so thank you very much for dropping in. Nick Bradford then said, "Allison injury thoughts." It's a tricky one, isn't it? Like you can't really start to have conversations about not having him as the number one because he's so good. But then again, like he's picking up so many injuries nowadays. Like is it becoming a concern? Like obviously it's good to have the likes of Kelleher last year or a Mamardashvili this year to step in, but Allison does seem to be the only injury prone goalkeeper on the planet, really, doesn't he? So it's disappointing. Obviously, I want him to come back as quick as possible. I am interested to see how Mamardashvili does. Like there was reports when he came in that he wasn't coming in to just sit on the bench. Like he, even at Valencia, I think I can't remember the exact quote, but it was pretty much he came in as like the third or fourth kind of choice goalkeeper, and he just fought his way to the top. So I'm very interested to see can he actually put a claim to that shirt. Like I'm sure in the next year or two, Liverpool will be looking at maybe replacing Allison with Mamardashvili long term, but I will be interested to see, like I said, like will he really push? Will he really settle in now when he has these 6, 7, 8 games, whatever it's going to be? I think Allison's supposed to be like what 6 or 8 weeks. So like there's a lot of games in that time. So obviously there's the November international break. Yes, there's somehow another international break coming up in a few weeks' time. But like I said, I'm interested to see how Mamardashvili gets on. I'm interested to see does he stake a claim for that number one spot. But yeah, I think Allison will come back in obviously after when he comes back from injury. Peter Harris said, "Defence is the base. It needs sorting rapidly. Kanate is obviously not settled. That ought to be our signal to act." And that is fair enough as well. Like, yeah, like you said, like the uncertainty around his contract situation, like the Madrid rumours every week, doesn't help. So it is just a case of more certainty, like I said, with whatever the back four is, more certainty around contract situations, and then we're golden. Like we just need to solidify. Like I said, Kanate has been all over the place in terms of his mentality and his actual performances on the pitch. Like he had 2 or 3 really good games there for a while, and we thought, right, he's back, but then straight back to like just making mistakes again. So yeah, it is yeah, it ought to be our signal to act. Yeah, in fairness, yeah, like we should be signing a centre back in January. Like whether that is Mark A or whether it is a Nico Schlotterbeck, let's say who were linked with yesterday. There's more links again to Sven Botman today. Like I don't for 1 second think we're signing Sven Botman. By the way, I just thought it was an interesting conversation point just because it was being reported in the media. What else have we got then? Kelleher saving pens left, right, and centre for Brentford. What a lad! Yeah, even for Ireland there at the weekend, like he saved a penalty against Ronaldo. And I seen the stat then I touched on in the video yesterday. Like his last 3 penalty saves were against Cristiano Ronaldo, Kylian Mbappe, and Bruno Fernandes. Like that is what a repertoire of players to be saving penalties against. Like he's just next level for penalties. And like even look back to like all of our penalty shootouts, like he won us so many of those games. Allison doesn't really seem to have the same ability with penalties as Kelleher. Kelleher is just the penalty master. So I'm glad to see him just smashing it at Brentford and for Ireland as well. So hopefully Brentford stay up, by the way, because I didn't have high hopes for them at the start of the season, but like it'd be such a shame for him to go there and then all their best players leave. Thomas Frank leaves. Like it seems like he got the carpet pulled out from underneath him really. So let's hope he does well for Brentford and Brentford manage to stay up because we all have a soft spot for Kelleher. Me in particular, obviously, when he's Irish and apparently I'm his doppelganger. So yeah, hopefully he does well there. Ed Harper said Mo was missing in the AFCON. Your thoughts, Connor? So yeah, it is an interesting one again. Like who actually plays on the right when Salah is gone? Like is it a Frimpong? Is it a Chiesa? Like Chiesa is just I'd love to hear your thoughts on that one as well. Like, it is just baffling at this point. Like, he's been probably our best player in the last 4 or 5 games. So to see him not getting any chance whatsoever, or not getting the moments he deserves, or the minutes on the pitch that he deserves, is baffling. Like, there does seem to be some sort of an agenda against him, or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is just the fact that he is coming back from basically being injured for the whole season, and we're just really trying to manage his minutes. Like, we heard he had a little bit of an injury and he didn't travel to Galatasaray. A lot of people were wondering, like, was that true at all? But like, it more than likely is a case of he's always injured, so he felt a little bit of something. So we said, right, just don't risk him, leave him at home, leave him well rested, and then he'll be fit for the weekend. But then he didn't really play at the weekend, so maybe there is an agenda. Maybe it is just being extra careful. Like, we know Arne Slot and Ruben Peters in particular are very big on just keeping players fresh, trying to avoid injuries as much as possible. So I don't know. Like, it is, like, I would like to see Chiesa play more, but I will ultimately trust the manager's judgment. Like, if he's not playing him, he's not playing him. So that's just how it is, really, isn't it? I can see why Slot plays Salah after a season last season, but Chiesa should start over Gakpo. That is an interesting point too, yeah, because he could put Chiesa on the left, and there's an argument to be had for Rio and Gamoja on the left as well, of course. And there's also an argument to be made for Hugo Ekitike on the left. Like, not to shit all over Gakpo or anything, like, he has been decent this season, but like, you look at that front line, you have Isak and Salah. Like, Gakpo probably is the missing link there, like, or the odd one out. Like, just he's not quite at that level. Not to say that any of the other names mentioned are quite at that level just yet either, but there is an argument to be made that one of them should be starting over Gakpo. So I wouldn't mind at all seeing Chiesa on the left. I went to the Lille game last year in the Champions League. It was the only game I managed to get over for, but Chiesa played on the left that night, and I thought he just looked electric. And that was back when he was barely fit, so I'm more than happy to see him on the left if he gets a chance there. I'd be starting him on the left rather than taking Salah out of the team, certainly. Like, a lot of people have been calling for Salah to be dropped, but I think that's just like, fair enough, there is an argument to be had for it, but it's just not going to happen, is it? Like, Arne Slot is not going to drop Mo Salah from the starting 11. Like, after him getting a new contract, the huge money, he's the talisman of this team. Like, it's just not going to happen. Like, you can argue about it all you want, it's just not going to happen. So I think Chiesa getting a few minutes on the right at the end of the game, or starting from the left, is probably the more it's probably the easier route into the team for him, really. Like, if you gain ahead of Gakpo, I think he could solidify that left hand side position if he's going to solidify anywhere. It's there. That's basically what I'm saying. Trigger Rich said, Gakpo always scores for national team. I feel that counts for something in Slot's book. Not that I agree he's been good. I prefer Chiesa for sure with how he has been playing of recent. Yeah, I wonder, is there a little bit of a bias there as well with the whole Dutch thing? Like, you have Gakpo, you have Van Dijk, you have Gravenberch. Obviously, not saying all of them are only in the team because they're Dutch, but like, there obviously will be a little bit of a soft spot from Arne Slot there for Gakpo when he's like the same nationality and everything. So, and like you said, like, he scores for the national team. Like, I think he scored, was it 2 or 3 goals he scored for the last, or for the Netherlands over the last few games? Like, he definitely scored in the 2 games, but I can't remember if he scored twice in one of them. I think he might have. And yeah, like, he has been doing, like, a lot of the lads actually have been doing well over the internationals. Even I have a report here from yesterday, so Monday night's international roundup. So Florian Wirtz played almost the entirety of Germany's 1-0 win over Northern Ireland. Isak got a full 90 minutes in Sweden's loss against Kosovo, and Ekitike was a late sub in France's 2-2 draw away to Iceland. But like, even Ekitike, I've seen a compilation of him in the previous game. I can't for the life of me remember who France were playing now, but he just looked really good. Like, the dribbles, the touches, he's so good. And like, not to say Isak shouldn't be starting either, but Ekitike had such a fantastic start to the season in that number 9 position. And then Isak comes in and that's kind of disrupted. Like, you can't have a player who's scoring 5 or 6 goals in 5 or 6 games and then dropping him out of the team or pushing him in as a sub in the end or pushing him out to the left, like we said earlier. It's like, it's such a tricky one, but you can't be not starting Isak after spending so much money, but then ultimately you can't not start Ekitike after how well he's been. So it is an interesting one and it's a tough one to gauge. But yeah, I've been very impressed with Ekitike over the last few weeks. Like I said, for that France compilation that I've seen and just how he's been playing for Liverpool. Like, I'd have him over Isak tomorrow if we are playing the Champions League final just on current form. But I think ultimately the team does have to be based around Isak and Wirtz moving forward. Just the amount of money that was spent, like, we have to build a team around those two. Like, we have to figure out how to get everyone else on the pitch as well. But ultimately, Slots, Liverpool will be built around those two. What else have we got then? We have a stat here from LiveScore, which I found interesting. So, Liverpool have started better this season in comparison to last year when they won the league. The difference is they currently find themselves in second place. So, last season we had 14 points after 7 games, and this season we have 15 points, which is important to remember as well. Like, it has been an awful few weeks with the 3 losses, and just everyone's kind of losing their heads. But some perspective, like obviously it's not good to be sitting in second, but we are only 1 point off the top. Yes, again, you can't say we were 5 points clear, but the season is long. We're only 7 games in. There's no need to lose the head. Like, we're just at a point now where we need to settle in, just get a few results back on the board. I think the next 5 or 6 games will be a big one, just in terms of, you look at our fixtures versus Arsenal's, they have a lot more favourable fixtures. But if we can get through those 5 fixtures and still be within reaching point of Arsenal, or like 2 or 3 points behind, I think we have a fantastic chance moving into the latter part of the season. Especially if we get to the point where it's February or March, let's say, we're like 2 points off Arsenal. Like, hopefully we have the league won and wrapped up and we're 20 points clear, obviously. But if we can stay within that distance of Arsenal in the latter part of the season, we have a great chance of overtaking them, just purely because we have the experience of winning the league from that position. We know what to do. Arsenal are very likely to crumble at some point. Like, they don't have the mentality that we seem to have, or the experience that we have as well. So I think if we're within 4 or 5 points of Arsenal even by February or March, I'd still back us to be able to catch them. So I'm not losing my head just yet. Obviously, it's very disappointing to lose a few games, but some perspective is needed as well. Christina, thanks for dropping in. Said, good morning, Connor. I think the international break has given the lads a chance to refocus, and hopefully this weekend we'll have positive results. Hopefully so, Christina. Like, we've seen, like, they all seem to be scoring. Every single player I've seen on international duty for Liverpool, like, I just keep seeing the like sofa score things of like them all scoring 8 or 9 out of 10 goals and assists all over the shop. Salah looked delighted, obviously qualifying for the World Cup with Egypt. Like, so, like, it is a nice mental break for them to get away, just play some nice football with their teammates in the international games, score a few goals, get a bit of confidence back. Hopefully everyone comes back in fine form, and then, like, Man United at home as the game to come back to is just spectacular. Like, if that was a 12:30 away at Brentford, let's say, like, it's hard to get up for that, but 4:30 on Sunday against Man United, that's going to be box office. The players are going to be well up for it. The fans are going to be well up for it. Like, if we can get a good result in that, like, say we come out and beat them 3 or 4 goals to 1, or 3-0, or even just any win, but like, if we manage to smash them on Sunday, that is going to be a huge boost then for the rest of the season. Like, the Spurs back on, the guys back, like I said, refocused and everything. So yeah, I'm happy to see the lads all doing well on international duty, and hopefully that can play a part then on Sunday too. Vert says, look decent, just been robbed of a few assists. Yeah, like, even look at stats of the most chances created across the top 5 leagues. Like, Florian Wirtz is up there. I think he definitely was number one. I can't remember if he still is or not, but he was up there. Like, another universe, he had 3 or 4 assists against Galatasaray on its own. So this whole like 007 nonsense, or was it 9 games now? Like, it's just, does it really matter? Like, he plays the ball through. If it's not put in by the striker or whoever has it, like, that's not his fault, is it? Like, ultimately, he has been creating chances. Yes, he hasn't quite hit the highs that we thought he would straight away. Like, he hasn't exactly hit the ground running, but like, he's not been bad by any stretch. Like, he's been decent. Like, I don't think people should be losing their heads. Like, everyone calling him a flop and all this nonsense. Like, it is just complete bollocks, really, isn't it? So don't listen to any of it. Like, you've seen so many people coming out in the last week just backing him up. Like, you had Ilkay Gundogan said something about him last night, I think. Jurgen Klopp was defending him. Jurgen Klinsmann was defending him. Like, everyone knows how good a footballer he is, and there's no doubt that he will get to that level. It's just, it's going to take him time, just purely because he needs to build up a little bit of fitness, a little bit of resilience, just build up to like the level of the Premier League. So I've no worries about him at all. I just think people need to lay off him. Samantha said, don't worry about Saturday. You've been amazing covering for Craig. I remember when Craig said you wouldn't come on camera, and now look at you. You're just as much Anfield Agenda as Craig is. Thank you very much, Samantha. That's lovely to hear. Like, I am just a nervous person by default, and stuff like this is definitely out of my comfort zone. But I'm happy I'm doing it. Like, even this hasn't seemed that long at all, and we're already half an hour in, and I'm enjoying it, to be fair. Like, I'm getting a bit more comfortable as we go on. So hopefully, like I said, the weekend should go well as well, and this should be a good game, really. So looking forward to it. But yeah, thank you very much for your kind words. I do really appreciate that. Trigger Rich said, Beards can only improve from here on. It can't be easy to move into a new country and seems like a more of an introvert, so I'm 100% behind him. He'll get it going. Yeah, like, it is important to remember he's 22 years of age. Like, he's so young. Like, everyone thinks he's just like, I think in our heads it's just because he's been around at a top level for so long. Everyone presumes he must be like 27, 28, but like, he's 22. He's younger than Harvey Elliott. Like, it's just to put some perspective on this. Like, it's just the pressure on that man's shoulders with the level of expectation and the price tag on him. Like he's obviously going to take a bit of time to settle in. Like you said, a new country as well, like leaving his home country, and it's just I don't know. Like I said, it's nonsense. Like people jumping on him already. Like he will come good, and like you said, it's a big change for him. So yeah, that's it. Any chance ever doing a tenable stream? It's like a football quiz site on Google. Would be interesting stream. Is that the same game I've seen? I can't think who actually does them, but there's some guy on YouTube does them, and it's like you pick like a topic like top 10 scorers in the Premier League and you have to get 1 to 10, and if you hit like 11 or 12 you get minus points. Is that the one? I've seen that a few times. It looks quite fun, to be fair, so it could be one to do sometime. Maybe myself and Craig, or we'll get Chris and Steve involved as well. Could definitely do something like that at some point, especially during these international breaks. Like we're always starved of content in these international breaks because nothing's really happening. So yeah, like definitely never say never again. I'm sure that will be a fun one to do. I must get Craig playing FIFA again at some point as well, by the way. Like, who watched the FIFA streams on Twitch back in the day? If anyone was here who did watch them, they used to always enjoy them. We used to edit them down then for the YouTube content, and it was just like him arguing with himself, trying to negotiate contracts and stuff. It was just, it was good crack. We must get that back at some point, just to do like even like a charity stream maybe sometime. We sit down for a couple of hours and play FIFA or something. Turpy8888 said, "Did you see what Klopp said about Wirtz? We can all see it's so why do the TV so-called pundits keep slating him? Don't make any sense. They don't want us to be good. It is just that. Like if he had moved to I don't know what team to be honest, but like it is a thing. The likes of Liverpool are going to be scrutinised so much, especially after the last couple of years of like us saying like the Reds have got no money, but we'll still win the league, and then we go splash the money. Like it is going to draw a little bit more attention when it's us spending money compared to the likes of Man United, let's say. Like you look at the money that Man United have wasted compared to us. Like it's just it makes no sense that they pile on us for the likes of Isak and Wirtz when they're only here a few weeks. So um, it's just like yeah, it's complete nonsense. Like I don't see why people are jumping on it at all, and it was good to see that Klopp kind of backed it up as well. What else have we got? So Nathan said, "Hi Connor, I'm taking you and Craig to Alton Towers. We have some horrible hype for going to rides." Um, I think did you email before Nathan? I think actually yes, I recognise your name. I remember, or Craig maybe mentioned it at one point. Alton Towers is a good crack to be fair. I was there before, so yeah, definitely up for that. Why not? If we ever get over that part of the world again, I'm sure we'll come say hi. Hobbit Hoskin said, "Veerts makes some decent runs. Other players haven't seen to him give the ball. It's just a matter of time before it all clicks, and I'm here for it." Nice to see you're a Lego collector too, Connor. Yeah, I have a few bits to be fair. Like, what's actually in my background here? I have the what do you call it? The cherry blossom tree. I thought that was a nice addition to the back. I've got like a big Ferrari F1 car, like the big one. I got that one, so I must try to figure out how to get that into the background at some point. I might stick it up on the wall or something. But yeah, who doesn't love Lego? In fairness, like um, Sit said, Connor, is there a video coming out today? Yeah, I might do a roundup of the news after this. I might just private a stream just because um, I'm still just getting used to all this. And the start of the stream in particular, wasn't very happy with. I was very just stumbling over my words and stuff. So I'll probably hide the stream afterwards and just do a bit of a news roundup based on what we've been talking here. So like we had some news on Antoine Semenyo. There was Liverpool officials basically being not quoted, but like there was a source came out and said that Liverpool's important figures believe that like Semenyo would have been an ideal signing in the summer. So there's a bit of a conversation to be had around that in terms of like where would he fit in? Would we have still signed the same attackers? Could we have seen Semenyo come in instead of an Ekitike or an Isak, for example? There was some links with Sven Botman of Newcastle. Again, can't see that one happen just purely because the relationship with Newcastle, I can't imagine is at best at the minute. We had some quotes around Mark Gahey's future, just basically saying that we probably won't go in January. That will be next summer by the looks of it. We had some Emil Heskey quotes on the defensive worries, and then just a few other bits. Yeah, a bit of a roundup of the international break as well, just the lads out on international duty. So yeah, I probably will record something after this. Trigger Rich, I didn't realise that was Lego. It looked very real to me. It does actually, in fairness, especially the camera's probably a little bit blurry, so it might look a little bit more photorealistic, let's say. But yeah, I like that. I visited Japan a couple of years ago and just thought that was a nice kind of like throwback to that. Just the cherry blossoms quite nice, and it just adds a bit of colour to the background as well. And I have the Ferrari helmet in as well, Charles Leclerc, and a little Mo Salah Funko Pop, of course, has to be there. I don't know where that came out, but just found it in the drawer one day, so it look good for the backgrounds. Morning from Australia, everyone. Hi, Joseph. Welcome in. What time is it in Australia? It's minute. I'm useless for these things with time differences. Is it? I think it's night time there now. Is it? So SEMENYO's really snubbed us. No, it's the other way around, really. I think we just kind of looked at him and then didn't really pursue it. And I think there might be a little bit of regret there from the club, just in terms of, was there a player there that could have been had for a decent price before he started to like really show his worth this season. Like, he's obviously been good for Bournemouth the last couple of seasons, but he seems to have took a massive step up this season. The amount of output he's getting, like, he's single handedly saved my FPL. I'll put it that way. So yeah, yeah, he didn't snub us, but I think it's more of a case of like the Liverpool officials kind of regretting maybe not going in for him before he really blew up the season. Sniper said we need a win this week against United. Yeah, 100%. Like, we can't. Like, imagine. Like, I can't even say it out loud. Imagine we lost that game, like 4 games in a row. One of them being United at home. I just can't even begin to fathom that as a conversation. So I'm not even going to think about it. I don't think there's going to be. What was I saying there? Got completely blank there. Like, I don't think we can lose this game at all. Like, we have to win. We simply have to win, and I think we will, just based on all of the lads getting a refresh, basically, away on international duty, a bit of a mental break, coming back then in fine form. Some of them after qualifying for the World Cup, of course. And on the flip side, likes of Isak, like Sweden, look like they're not going there. Will he come back and just want to prove that he is fit and firing? Like, so it's going to be an exciting game. I'm really looking forward to it, but yeah, I can't see us not winning that game because we just have to. Dave, welcome in, said, is Grav going to be fit for United game? Apparently so, yeah. So there was some quotes and some misleading headlines around this one. Like, I seen some quotes of just like, our headlines basically saying, oh, Liverpool shocked by huge Gravenberch injury, whatever. It was just, he had a little bit of a something in his hamstring and the manager took him off. That was basically it. Like, even he himself said it was totally precautionary. So I think there's nothing to worry about there. I don't think that we're going to miss out on him at all this weekend. I think he will start. And like, could you imagine just the head loss if he was injured? Like, just, we're already down so much. Like, we just don't need to be losing players like Gravenberch. Like, he has been phenomenal this season for the most part. And yeah, I wouldn't worry about that because that whole thing was blown out of proportion. Like, if you actually look into the quotes and what the manager himself said and what Gravenberch said, it's just, yeah, it was purely precautionary thing. Like, he felt a little bit of a twinge or something and he just came off. So nothing to worry about. Joseph said, I might lose each individual brain cell I have if we lose to United. Surely we aren't that bad. No, like, you see how United are doing. Like, they're just not good at all, and they're still persistent with Ruben Amorim somehow. Like, I don't know how he has a job still. I'm happy about it, obviously, but is this the point now? Like, if we do go out and smash them 5-6-7-0 again, is there a conversation where he doesn't see Monday morning? Like, is it, yeah, are we at that point or not? Because we had Jim Radcliffe coming out during the week saying, I think it was basically said he's going to give him at least 3 years because that's how long things should take to change. And that is fair enough. Like, that is how long things probably would take to change. But that's if you're heading in the right direction. Like, he's bringing it backwards. So I don't know how that one works or the logic, but I'm here for it. If that means United are going to stay absolutely shite, then I'm absolutely here for it. Turpy said, "Do you think if we win, that'll be the end of the Man United manager?" Yeah, like we said, it could well be. Like, I was kind of not scared as such, but I was kind of afraid that they might sack him just before this game, and then they would have like the new manager bounce coming into the game at Anfield. But that's not the case, thankfully. But like, you look at that Man United team, like, it's a poor team for Man United standards, but it shouldn't be a team struggling in the bottom half of the table. Like, I don't know why Ruben Amorim seems to be persistent with this system that he doesn't have the players for, or I don't see why United opted for him when he is so heavily invested in that system. Like, it was the same conversation we had when he was linked with us after Klopp left. Like, we don't have the players for that. That's not the type of football Liverpool play, and it's not the type of football Man United play either. So like, I don't know why they brought him in to persist with this thing that they just can't do, and like he's still going with it. So like if you brought in, I don't know what manager, but if you brought in a manager who's used to playing, let's say, a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1, and you had like Mbuemo, Cunha, Sesko, Bruno Fernandes as a front four, like that is a good front four if you can figure out how to do it properly. Not whatever he's doing with it, but like the quality of players there, like they should be doing better than what they are doing. Like they shouldn't be winning the league or anything by any stretch. But I think like to finish in the top 6 or 7 is not out of the realms of possibility when you look at that squad if played correctly, which Amram just doesn't seem to be doing at all. Avik said, "Do you think Wirtz needs to be more aggressive rather than creative on the ball?" It's hard to know, really, isn't it? Like, I think what he mainly needs to do is just get a little bit sharper. Like he seems to be getting closed down a little bit quicker than maybe he'd be used to in the Bundesliga. Like the intensity of the Premier League can't be understated. Like it's a big part as well of why you see players leave the Premier League and do so well. Like average players is not the right word when I'm about to make the example I'm about to say, but like Luis Diaz, let's say, goes over to the Bundesliga, scores stupid amounts of goals, looks fantastic. Obviously, is a fantastic player, but a player like him who's playing at the top level in the Premier League is going to find the Bundesliga easier. Same with Harry Kane, like he is just absolutely on fire this season. Then you look at the likes of Rasmus Højlund leaving Man United, doing well over in Italy. Scott McTominay is looking fantastic over in Italy. You have Anthony over in Betis looking good. You have like, you know what I mean? Like everyone who's just a decent player in the Premier League becomes a very good player outside the Premier League just because they have that extra bit of fitness, they have that extra sharpness, they have that extra durability. It's just, yeah. So I think with Wirtz, it's just a matter of taking that little bit of a step up, getting a bit more sharp, getting a little bit more used to how much time he'll have on the ball around the penalty area. So I don't think it's a I don't think it's a case of being aggressive as such. I think it's just a case of being a little bit more just sharp and snappy with the ball. I played Jones ahead of Maka. That is an interesting one as well, yeah. I realise I'm turning into this thing now when I'm saying the same phrase. It's an interesting one, that one. Um, I played Jones ahead of Maka, so I wouldn't go that far, but there's definitely a conversation to be had around McAllister this season. Like, he hasn't exactly been lighting it up, but there's no doubt he is a fantastic midfielder. And I actually have a quote on that here while we're talking about him. So, Paul Scholes was asked the top 5 midfielders in the world. He said, Pedri, Rodri, Vitinha, Frankie de Jong, and McAllister. And he's probably not wrong in that 5, to be fair, or it's very close to the correct answer. But on the flip side of that, if I was asked to pick my midfield 3 today for Man United, I would be going Florian Wirtz with Gravenberch and Szoboszlai in behind. Like, I wouldn't be starting McAllister. And that's just such a ridiculous thing to be saying because McAllister is so good. But it is just a case of he's just not quite in form at the minute. So I'd love to know what you guys think on that one. Like, is he just struggling a bit for fitness? Like, he was out for the last part of last season. Like, he's still just kind of building his way back up to match fitness. But yeah, like, it just feels so wrong saying I wouldn't start him, but like, I honestly wouldn't at this point. That's the thing. Turpy said if we overrun their midfield, and we can get the Wirtz and Ekitike and Isak, I think we can win heavy. That's the thing, yeah. Like that's just those 3 up front with Salah then as well, and possibly Gakpo or whoever is there as well. Like it is just a crazy amount of attacking talent on the pitch at one time. And like you said, if we can get the ball to them and provide the right service, then it is just fantastic. Yeah, so it could literally be any score. It could be 0-0, it could be 10-0. Like it's going to be an interesting one. And yeah, who would you start versus United, Isak or Ekitike? Ooh. Instinctively, I would have to say Isak just purely because of the price tag and the level of player he is and will be. But on current form, I'd probably say I go Ekitike. That feels wrong again, not starting Isak, but I think I'd prefer Ekitike in that game because he's a bit fresher coming out of the international games. He hasn't played quite as many minutes. Like Isak, I think has played a full 2 or 3 90 minutes recently, and he's still building his way up to fitness. So I'd probably start with Ekitike, and then at the 60-minute mark, start looking at maybe either pushing Ekitike out to the left and putting Isak through the centre, or taking him off for Isak. But I'd probably start Ekitike in all honesty. So if we're looking, we'll do that quickly before we finish up because I'm going to end off in a few minutes. But let's go through our 11 then for Man United. So obviously Mamardashvili in goal, which was an obvious one because like Alisson's out. Left back then, we're already into a tough debate. So do you go Robertson or Kerkez? Obviously, Kerkez probably adds a little bit more going forward, but Robertson is a little bit more stable. I'd probably go Kerkez on the left, so we'll stick Kerkez on the left. Right back then, probably go Connor Bradley over Frimpong in all honesty. I'd probably leave Frimpong on the bench and maybe bring him on towards the end of the game just as a little bit of a more attacking threat, like a if we need a goal in the last 20 minutes, like there's not many players going to bring on who are more speedy and just sharp than Frimpong. So I think probably start Bradley and then bring Frimpong on. That's a good show actually. Let's do a poll on that one. So who would you start on Sunday versus United's Isak or Ekitike? Centre backs then, I think if Kanate is fit, which there's some doubt, I think he's probably going to be fit. I think we'll probably see Van Dijk and Kanate. Midfield then, like I said, I would go Gravenberch and Soboslai with Wirtz ahead of him. I would probably stick with Gakpo on the left just for the stability and the rhythm of it. I'd stick Ekitike up front and then Salah on the right. So to recap then, we'd have Mamardashvili, Kerkez, Van Dijk, Kanate, Bradley, Gravenberch, Soboslai, Wirtz, Salah, Isak, Gakpo. But I'm open to debate on this one. Like I feel like that's probably somewhere. I think most people will agree with most of that, but I think I am interested to hear if anyone has any big changes they'd make. Sniper would start Robbo. Yeah, it is an interesting one, that one. I'm very 50-50 on those two at the minute, to be honest. Like I think Kerkez obviously is going to be the number one left back long term, but I think Robertson's probably going to end up playing more than he thought he would have when he didn't leave in the summer. Like he was linked with Atletico Madrid. He seemed ready to go. And when he stayed, then I presume he probably thought he's not going to get much game time. So I think with the way Kerkez is settling in, he has, again, like Wirtz, he hasn't been bad as such, but he hasn't exactly been brilliant either. So I think Robbo probably will get more game time than he would have expected. But in this game or not, I don't know. But yeah, it is an interesting one. Joseph Purvis said, unfortunately, United have a tendency to show up against us when in terrible form and when we are playing on a roll, still expecting a win. Yeah, I think it's one of them ones, like it's, um, sorry to clear my throat. It's one of them ones, like, say, like any kind of derby, you always just, like, say, form goes out the window. And it does seem that way with United at times, like, outside of obviously the 5-0, the 7-0, but yeah, like, it can't completely write them off. But on paper, we should be beating these lads, no bother. So I have full confidence that we will. I think I'm going to go like 3-1, 4-1. I think they'll probably get one, but I think we're going to score 3 or 4. And I think this will be the game that just boosts us on then to win the next few, and then we'll see where we are in a month's time. Lee Jericho said, I feel I can trust Hugo at the minute to deliver. Yeah, like he does seem the more reliable of the two, doesn't he, so far? Like Isak's still settling in, obviously, and getting up to fitness. Even you see, like, Isak's pressing hasn't exactly been there just yet because he doesn't really have the sharpness or the match fitness yet to do a full 90 minutes, and he's going to just be not hold himself back, but like he's not going to be given 100% when he's not quite there yet. Like I said, Slot and Ruben Peters are definitely going to be doing everything they can to keep him fresh and avoid any kind of injuries. Luke said, just joined. Well done, Connor. You got some big balls, mate. Thank you. I wouldn't want to do what you're doing. Craig's going to be sleeping through this. Yeah, I don't know what his sleep schedule is like on holidays, to be honest. He hasn't been having the best of holidays, I'll put it that way. So, if when he comes on, I think he's going to do a stream Thursday night, and then he's back. I don't know what day he's leaving for Liverpool, but he's definitely going to be streaming Thursday night. So please do send Craig some love and positivity, because he's had a very bad few weeks, like between all that nonsense on X and social media, and then just a few bits have gone wrong on his holiday as well. So I won't go into details. I'll let him explain that to you. But yeah, please do send Craig some love and positivity when he's on Thursday, because yeah, he needs it at the minute. If Arna doesn't mess up the starting lineup, we might be able to see Chiesa. Yeah, like going back to the starting 11 I picked, I probably would pick Chiesa on the left, but I'm kind of trying to put on balance what I think the manager will do. Like, I don't think he will start him, so I didn't really consider it as such. Like, I think the Bradley Frimpong thing, the Kerkez Robertson, the midfield trio, they're all things that we could actually see Arna do, but I just can't see him starting Chiesa on the left, which is sad because he definitely deserves a shot out there. Hugo Eki Techers. Hugo Eki Techers said Chiesa's supposed to be injured, not match fit. Yeah, I think he's just still kind of recovering from a little bit of the pull in the, was it a hamstring? Or I don't think it was even said, was it? It was just some sort of a little minor issue that he's managing. So yeah, he probably won't start either. Like I said, like Arnold doesn't seem to want to start him and then throw the fitness issues on top. So yeah, probably won't start, but it'll be good to see him getting a good 20, 30 minutes towards the end, hopefully. Bless him, Craig is a top guy. Hopefully he gets better from here. Yeah, like he deserves a break. In fairness, like it was such nonsense last week, and like I was happy that he got managed to get away on his holiday then after initially cancelling it. But yeah, it hasn't really gone to plan just yet. But hopefully he's getting a bit of mental rest at least, if nothing else. Make this a regular thing, please, mate. Like I'm sure I probably will do more streams. Like I'm not going to say I'm going to be on every day or anything, but like definitely, I prefer doing videos to this. But maybe if I done this more, I'd like it a bit more. But stuff like Champions League draws, cup draws that are on in the morning and stuff, I'll definitely be happy to jump on and do a live. But yeah, I don't know how regular this will become, but yeah, thank you very much. Like you're all so kind. Like I know Craig always says as well, but it is genuinely just the best community on the internet. Like you're all just so nice, and um, for me to come on here for the first stream I've ever done, and like I genuinely planned on doing about 20 minutes and then running away. And we're now 52 minutes in, and I'm actually fine. Like I'm settling in a bit. I'm not as nervous as I thought it was going to be. So thank you all for putting me at ease, because like it is, like I said, it's very much out of my comfort zone. But you're all so nice. Connor, are you an F1 fan? I am, yeah. I have the mini helmet there, if you could see it there. Um, I only got into it in the last couple of years. I'm definitely a blow in. Like, I was definitely like the Drive to Survive era, but I don't really like to class myself as that type of fan, because like I have looked into a lot of stuff of like past years, and just like I read Adrian Newey's book on like how Formula One cars work and stuff, and like I done a proper deep dive. Like I'm a new fan to the sport, but I'd like to think I'm a little bit more than a casual, like, you know what I mean? I'm not just a complete blow in. Samantha said it's time for Chiesa to play now. If we had the same amount of chances as Darwin, he would be flying. I'm really disappointed in Slot. Yeah, it's just like, especially when Chiesa was Arna's first signing, or his only signing really, in the first summer at the club. Like, you'd have to wonder, was that just the management of the club looking at it being like, right, this is a player that was being quoted as a 80 to 100 million pound player last year or a couple of years ago, and then he's available for like what, 10 or 12 million pounds. Like, was it just a case of this is too good to pass up on, we need to give it a chance, but it's not exactly what the manager wants? Like, it does seem like he barely played last season. Like, it does seem like he just wasn't fancied by the manager whatsoever. And even this season then, when he's playing well, it's just, yeah, I don't get it. Like, it is just yeah, it is a tricky one to figure out. Like, we've gone back and forth on this one so much over the last few weeks on the channel, but it is just impossible to figure out. You look like you've been doing it for years. Being able to hold an audience is hard, and you've smashed it so far, mate. Thank you very much. I presume is your name Kieran? Sorry, I don't know what your name is from username, but it's very nice, and thank you for dropping in. Like, it is. I think I've picked up a lot of stuff just from watching Craig so much over the years, just kind of how to act, how to like. I feel like a lot of my presenting mannerisms are just kind of a pale imitation of Craig. Really, I just kind of pick up a few like phrases that's or stuff he'd use, or just kind of read a bit of news and jump into the chat and then go back to the bit of news. Like, it just, yeah, I feel like everything that way I've kind of just picked up from watching Craig for so long, to be honest. Are we sleeping on City? Haaland may carry them to the title. Um, Hard to know if it's like. Sorry, I think I'm lagging a bit there. Should be back now. Sleeping on City is a tough one. Yeah, like, are people sleeping on them? Like, or do people think they're in genuine contention? Because I don't think people are sleeping. I don't think anyone is completely writing them off. Like, it is a case of Arsenal and Liverpool do definitely seem to be the two, but then you can never write off Man City. Like, they're not quite the team they used to be, but they are still up there. So, especially with likes of Haaland, like the amount of goals he's been scoring, and he just has a point to prove, it seems. So, yeah, definitely not writing them off. I'd still class us and Arsenal as the two favourites, but yeah, never write off Man City. Like, they're obviously going to be there, and Pep Guardiola is one of the best managers of all time, really. So you can never write them off. Sniper said, my starting 11 versus United is George. So I started it again. Mamardashvili, Virgil Kanate, Robbo Bradley, Sobo Wirtz Gravenberch, Gakpo Ekitike, and maybe Chiesa. You're dropping Salah. Interesting. Like, I think there's definitely is an argument to be had about that, but like I said earlier, I just don't think it's ever going to happen. So I don't think it's really worth mentioning in terms of. I just don't think Slot's ever going to do that, or not at this point. So fully respect your decision there. Like, I'm not saying it's wrong or anything, but I just don't think that Slot will drop Salah. So I wouldn't get my hopes up if you're hoping he will be dropped. Right, we're coming up to an hour then. I might jump off there now, Len. So thank you very much for joining me. Like, genuinely, it has been a lot easier than I thought it was going to be, just in terms of everyone's made me feel so comfortable and everything. So, like I said, I probably will just private the stream afterwards, and I'll do a bit of a news roundup as well. So keep an eye out for that one. I'll record that in the next like 15, 20 minutes or so. So thank you very much for joining. Genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much. I've really enjoyed this. Hit the like button before you head out. Doesn't even matter because it's being private anyway. But yeah, thank you for all the kind words. I might be back on before the weekend, but yeah, Sunday is the plan. I don't know what time I'll start yet. I probably won't start the full hour and quarter before. I might start like half an hour before. Just like I said, I'm not used to this, so it will just kind of shorten the stream to 2.5 hours rather than 3 hours. So I'll see you all on Sunday. I will have videos out before then as well. Like I said, Craig will be back on Thursday as well. He'll be recording the Man United preview and doing a live as well. So thank you very much for joining me on this one, and yeah, see you very soon. Thanks very much.